Oh, yes, I remember when I used to make St. Louis City SC content on the regular for my channel. Yeah, I know, it feels like so long ago. Remember the John De Silva video and how I thought he was going to be so great for the attack? Well, didn't work out that way now, did it? No, no, kind of makes me think of the Nicholas Durr video. Oh, you don't remember who Nicholas Durr is? Well, he was the left back that we signed from Denmark, and yeah, he's the one with the really bad thumbnail. In fact, all my thumbnails back then were really not great, but why don't I go back to making St. Louis City SC content? Well, for one, have you seen my vlogging schedule lately? I just wrapped up my non-league series that took up the last 2 months of my life, and also, St. Louis City, in case you haven't noticed, they kind of suck this year. So yeah, I can't just do stories just for the sake of... Wait a sec here. Joakim Nilsson just got bought out. Huh. I mean, I figured that was going to happen at some... Oh, I should do a video on that. Well, no, wait. No, my thing is I do incoming transfer video. Yeah, I remember the Sam Adinrin video. And I remember the Tim Parker video. And the Vasilev. All right, I see your point. I guess I should do a Nilsson video. So, sayonara and Vamos City. All right, this is the story of Joakim Nilsson and how if it weren't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck. But you'll be lucky to find a better place to grab a bite to eat and a cold drink than Pat Connolly Tavern, located at the corner of Oakland and Tam in beautiful Dogtown, and a St. Louis institution since 1942. Stop by during city games for drink specials, and if you're staying in town for the August 23rd match this month, there'll be the official City on Tap location, meaning there will be giveaways and more fun from St. Louis City SC. And mark October 4th on your calendars because I've got a little special something brewing for the Austin game. Nilsson became employee number 5 in St. Louis City's main roster when he signed in June of 2022 on a free transfer after 3 seasons at Arminia Bielefeld, where he featured in 89 games, with 2/3 of those in the German top flight after helping them get promoted from the Zweite Bundesliga. And Nilsson arrived in St. Louis with a reputation for being a defensive anchor. Lutz Pfannenstiel believed that, quote, Nilsson is the kind of defender that any team would want, as he is a natural leader and possesses all the attributes to be successful in any league. He's assertive in 1v1 duels, good in the air, and great at building out from the back. We're confident that all of his experience and physical attributes will make him one of the best defenders in Major League Soccer, end quote. And there was no reason when you look at Nilsson's past track record to not believe Lutz. He had a reputation of durability and experience, having played about 200 professional games before arriving in St. Louis. And that doesn't include his time with the Swedish national team, where he was a regular feature on a team that nearly qualified for the 2022 World Cup. But it would be during that quest for qualification where disaster would strike. Right after signing for St. Louis, Nilsson would suffer a knee cartilage injury while playing for Sweden, and he would have knee surgery that offseason in the months leading up to St. Louis City's debut 2023 campaign. On July 29th, he would play his first professional match in 15 months, scoring this header for St. Louis City 2. After another test run with City 2, Nilsson would run out in City Red for the first time on August 20th, late in a match against Austin FC. Also, this 2-part series on Nilsson's return is excellent. I've linked to it in the top right. And it looked like that Nilsson was ready to be the pillar that we all thought he could be. He finished the season strong, had another procedure in the offseason to clean up that tricky knee a little bit, and played in the first 14 of 17 matches in 2024. And give me a moment where I completely lost my mind in one of the first watch-alongs I ever did.
Now. It's the Sam. Roger! Are you kidding me? Did we just see a bicycle kick for the game-tying goal?
A legendary moment for a player that really needed one to cement his place in St. Louis City lore. But then he got hurt. Again. This time, it would be his hamstring that kept him out for much of the second half of 2024, and Nilsson was so desperate to put his injury woes behind him that he had his wisdom teeth taken out in an attempt to get his body to stop focusing on the pain, and it appeared to work because he played the last few games of 2024 and was reportedly feeling great heading into 2025. He was healthy, he was fit, he was raring to go and ready to get the joy back, as he told the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. He was ready to put the past behind him and serve as an anchor in Olaf Milberg's new 3-in-the-back system. Then, in the final preseason game of 2025, a closed-door friendly with San Jose Quakes, Nilsson would be on the receiving end of a hard tackle that injured his knee again. And that's it. No heartwarming story of how he came back this time from injury. No quirky story like his wisdom teeth being pulled. All four of them got yanked out, so there was no more to pull out there. Instead, St. Louis is making history by using its first ever contract buyout on employee number 5, saving the club over $1 million in 2026, a little bit this year, and freeing up a roster space and an international slot for a player to come. And Nilsson's time in St. Louis was indeed tragic. Go to a game at Energizer Park sometime and you won't find many Joakim Nilsson kits around. You'll still find plenty of Parkers, Adinarins, Vasilevs, Bloms. I think there's still some Joakinis floating around. But Nilsson didn't have the fanfare of any of those. Except for that bicycle kick, most St. Louis soccer fans associate his time in St. Louis with disappointment, as we never really got to see talents that made him a Bundesliga-level starter. I remember watching a healthy Joakim Nilsson standing next to Henry Kessler shortly after the Tim Parker trade and seeing how well the two played off each other. Nilsson, the more meat and potatoes 1v1 defender, and Kessler, the more elegant and cultured ball progressor. It finally felt like after all this time we had a bona fide center back pairing to carry us forward. But we didn't get that, because fate is a cruel mistress that sometimes has a sense of masochism when it comes to people like Nilsson, who, in addition to being very talented, was also by all accounts a sweetheart of a person and carried himself like a true professional, even when he was down and out dealing with injury after injury. I met him once at an autograph signing this season, and he could not have been nicer and more friendly, even though he was struggling with his knee injury. And I know people that live in the St. Louis community that live near him and know how kind he is in the community, as well as a proud parent. And I remember this final game of 2024 when Nilsson's two boys took shots at Roman Berkey. I was so happy that I could find this video I shot, because it's genuinely a fun moment, not just for our fans, but I'm sure it was for Nilsson, watching his boys having a fun moment in front of a fun crowd. I remember his youngest one, I think in 2023, scored a goal after a game, and the crowd cheered loudly for him, and he ran back to his dad's legs all scared. But no such nerves this time around, as they are just completely cooking Berkey here. It was incredibly unlucky and unfortunate that he was out of the lineup so long as he was. He only played 32 games in 3 total seasons in St. Louis. So it's a chance for a fresh start for Nilsson, but it's also a chance for St. Louis to get a fresh start when it comes to its center backs. A lot of our defensive woes, not just this season, but really since we started as a club, could be attributed to defensive injuries, and Nilsson became the poster child for that, in large part because of the big role that he was expected to play in St. Louis and how this defense was supposed to be built around him. Does Tim Parker not fade as quickly if he has Nilsson playing off of his left shoulder? We may never know. Henry Kessler is getting healthy again. Falou Fall is now in the fold, and he's a promising left-footed project that is probably going to be the direct Nilsson replacement going forward. You have Timo Baumgartel and Kyle Hebert still as depth center backs. Jay Girdwood-Reich is showing some promise as a center back after being a big under-22 signing last season from Australia. But as St. Louis' center back depth starts to heal, hopefully Nilsson can heal his career and find some glory in the future. We are all rooting for him. If you enjoyed this short little video, please follow the instructions on the bottom of your screen. It does help this channel out and helps get this channel out to more people like you and helps keep the lights on. And also to the Zombie Ultras, who also keep the lights on and help keep the internet bill paid. Thank you, all of you, for your support. Thank you to Leakage Guy, my one and only diehard supporter. And of course, thank you to the 99-cent supporters section, the originals that really showed faith in me in the first place and continue to be there for me. I see you all, and I thank you all as well. This is your soccer zombie, Tom Franklin, and I'm not sure which video I'm actually going to put over my left shoulder this time, because I could do the last St. Louis vlog that I did, but it was at Colorado and it was very depressing. I could do the last player signing video that I did, but I got kind of screamy in that one, so I'm going to have YouTube do my bidding on this one. You know why? Because I have almost 2,500 subscribers on this channel, and I'm big enough to let someone else do my bidding for once.